Hi, my name is Liz and I'm a park ranger here at Biscayne National Park, the largest marine park in the National Park Service. Biscayne protects a rare combination of marine and terrestrial ecosystems. They're all connected to each other and to us as people. And thanks for joining me out here on Spite Highway at Elliott Key. We are positioned with Biscayne Bay to our west and the coral reefs out to our east. Many people believe that the chain of Florida Keys begins in Key Largo, but that's simply the first key you can drive to. There are many keys north of Key Largo. Many of them are undeveloped. Biscayne National Park protects the northernmost portion of the Florida Keys. There are many animals that call these keys home and temporary homes. A variety of birds pass through here on their migration routes. The golden orb weaver spins a beautiful but very strong web in between the trees of the hammock. The critically endangered shell swallowtail butterfly makes its home here in the hardwood hammocks of Elliott Key. And sea turtles attempt to navigate this rocky shoreline, the natural shoreline for the Florida Keys, in an attempt to find a good place to lay their eggs. Many visitors ask us, what's the difference between a key and an island? An island is formed by geologic processes, such as volcanoes. But the keys are special because they are islands that were biologically formed. They were created by living things. The keys are the remains of an ancient coral reef. If we were visiting this exact spot 100,000 years ago, the water would have been 25 feet deeper. This was a coral reef built by tiny little coral polyps. As many thousands of years passed, the water level gradually began to drop and the coral rock was exposed. Birds dropped seeds, ocean currents brought seeds. The seeds found sturdy ground and grew up into this tropical forest we see around us here today. Today, the coral polyps are gone, the ancient reef is exposed, and the natural ecosystem of the Keys of Biscayne National Park look a lot like this. The natural ecosystem of these keys is largely comprised of mangrove trees and hardwood hammock. Mangrove trees line the coastline, while trees such as mahogany, gumbo limbo, wild lime, and knickerbean fill in to create this shady area. Not only is there a lot to explore in the natural environments of these keys, but the cultural history, the people history of these islands is fascinating. A few islands south of where we are right now on Porgy Key, the Jones family carved out a living for nearly 100 years. And Lancelot Jones was a fishing guide to the businessmen who frequented the Coco Lobo Club on Adams Key. Legend has it that a pirate named Black Caesar patrolled the waters that separate Porgy Key and Adams Key. That creek now bears his name. The Sweeting Homestead here on Elliott Key had several houses, a schoolhouse, and a general store. They grew pineapples, key limes, and tomatoes, and they helped to salvage the ships that ran aground on the coral reef. Boca Chica Key was once owned by millionaire Mark Honeywell and was used as a tropical island getaway for his peers and fellow businessmen. And several keys in the park bear evidence of Tequesta use and habitation. Obviously, the keys are not much higher than sea level, so park scientists are currently working on the stabilization and very careful documentation of some of these really important cultural sites that are just along the shoreline. They're hoping to protect them from the effects of climate change and major meteorological events such as hurricanes. This exact spot and the trail that extends to the north and to the south of me, Spite Highway, is a very important part of the park's cultural history. It was the source of much discussion in the 1960s. Developers were looking to develop the area. They wanted to put up some hotels and some restaurants. But there were a lot of local people who wanted to keep the area just as it was. So they petitioned for and won federal protection, preventing any further development to this area. It was designated in 1968 as Biscayne National Monument. The protected area was enlarged and upgraded to national park status in 1980. While the Keys in Biscayne National Park are accessible only by boat, recreation opportunities abound once you are here. From bird watching, to hiking, to camping, visitors to the Keys in Biscayne National Park are provided with an expanse of recreational opportunities unlike any other in the National Park Service. Thanks for visiting the Keys and for getting connected to the ecosystems of Biscayne National Park.